First of all, it is the 6th generation of M5 since 1984. And of course, from generation to generation, we made it stronger, faster and better than its predecessors. And it's also the case with this 6th generation. Now, tech-wise, there are 3 main important issues about this car. First of all, the M xDrive system. M xDrive is a system that combines the strengths of the hallmark BMW M-specific rear-wheel drive system together with the superior control of an all-wheel drive system. In, let's say, simple words, it drives like a rear-wheel drive car, just with a little bit of more traction. Now, secondly, you can use this also for different setups. First of all, you can use it across the whole range from maximum traction to 100% two-wheel drive. And this, in addition to the newest generation of V8 4.4 liter M twin power turbo technology engine offering 600 horsepower and 700 newton meters from 1800 RPMs on, gives you a really fast, strong and versatile car. Now, third of all, what you see at this car is the CFRP roof. For the first time, it comes as a series standard on the new BMW M5. So extreme lightweight, extreme strong and made out of carbon fiber. Now, this not only brings you to the fact that the new BMW M5 with M xDrive is lighter than its predecessor, it also is much faster. For instance, it takes only 3.4 seconds, I'm allowed to say that now, 3.4 seconds from 0 to 100 and 11.1 seconds from 0 to 200 kilometers per hour. And that not only makes the 6th generation M5 the fastest M5 ever built since 1984, it also makes it the most nimble one too. Now, let's have a look at the design of the car. If we start with the outside, let me start with a quote of one of our designers, Domagoj Dukic, who is the responsible designer for all M vehicles. He said, "The M5 always stood for the perfect combination of a business sedan with high-performance components. You might see it as the world's fastest tailored suit on the road." Now, to put that more specific in 2 parts, you can see it on the front with the bumper with the huge hexagonal air intake in the middle and the large air intakes on the side, which are meant for the racetrack as well as for the road. Because you have to remember, we produce 600 horsepower and 750 newton meters. Now, if we come a little bit further to the side, we see the typical fenders on the side with the M gills, which gives you this wider stance because it's also got a wider track than its predecessor. And of course, they are made out of aluminium for maximum weight reduction. Also made out of aluminium is the M-specific bonnet here with the sharp contoured lines which are going to continue into the CFRP roof on top of the car. Now, if we take a closer look on the side, we see much more things on the new BMW M5. Of course, we see the new 7 double-spoke wheels in 19 inch as a standard and an option in 20 inch with M compound brakes, in this case even equipped with the M ceramic brakes, which reduce weight by 23 kilograms. Now, if we continue further to the rear, we find the typical M outside mirrors, and we find a very strong rear end of the car. Of course, the rear end is one of the parts you might see most on the German Autobahn, not the front end, because it's going to pass you. Now, what you see at the rear are typical design elements for M. First of all, the Motorsports M diffuser, the typical double twin pipe M signature tailpipes, the M specific rear bumper and the M specific spoiler. And that in combination with the outside mirrors, the CFRP roof and the wider fenders in the front give this car such a strong stance and such a strong feeling. So you might say that's really cool, but it's going to continue on the interior as well. So let's have a look at the interior. It all starts with the main control post, the driver's seat. Well, the driver's seat, of course, is the most important place to sit in this car. You have optimized control and ergonomics regarding all controls. And by the way, I don't need to remember you that this car offers the possibility for up to 4 passengers, a large boot capacity, and excellent ride comfort and everyday usability. So it's a really, really cool combination. Now coming back to the typical M parts in this car. If you look at the middle console, you see the typical M gear lever. You see the typical M setup knobs for engine, for damper, for steering. And also new here is one knob for the exhaust system. So you can put it on a quiet mode if necessary. Now if we continue, you also see a very typical and M-specific display here in the middle. It shows you also the setup of the M xDrive system. It shows you all the control settings for the M-specific controls. And if you put the car into manual mode, it will also show you the shifting lights, which can also be displayed in the M-specific head-up display. Now, also new on the M5 are the two M1 and M2 buttons, which allow you to program your own specific setup, as always with the M vehicles. In this case, for the first time in red, which is a color that is also used here now for the start-stop button. So if you sit in the interior on the driver's seat, you really have this controllable feeling. You are in control under all circumstances, is the feeling you get from sitting here. And it's also what you need if you drive a really fast car.